Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the thrilling world of space exploration, focusing on the rockets that make it all possible. In one corner, we have the legendary NASA, with decades of experience under their belts. In the other corner, we have the disruptive innovator, SpaceX, taking the space industry by storm. Today, we'll break down how these two giants stack up in the SpaceX versus NASA rockets showdown. When it comes to space exploration, it is quite hard to not compare between the ever-formidable NASA rockets and the innovative SpaceX rockets. To think that when Elon Musk founded SpaceX in 2002, it was ridiculed, and now it's gone through a transformational journey of sorts. You've got to hand it to Elon Musk for going above and beyond by maintaining a definitive strategy that has ensured SpaceX to rank as high as its competitors and even outperforming them. We're going to take a look at 4 variables in our game of comparison today, from the core comparison of both space rockets to their capabilities, reusability, and finally, the cost. This video will break it all down to give the best comparative results. Let's dive headfirst into legacy versus innovation, a tale of 2 space explorers. Let's start with some background information. When it comes to the history of space exploration, NASA is what comes to mind. NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, is a household name. It has decades of history ahead of all its other competitors. Formed in 1958, they've been at the forefront of space exploration, pioneering missions like Apollo 11, the first crewed lunar landing. NASA's rockets, like the iconic Saturn V, are symbols of human ingenuity and perseverance. Over the decades, NASA has orchestrated a long list of groundbreaking achievements, which includes the Mercury program, which put the first American astronaut Alan Shepard into space in 1961. The Gemini program, which perfected techniques essential for lunar missions. There's also the historic Apollo program, culminating in the Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969, a giant leap for mankind. The Space Shuttle program, which revolutionized spaceflight with a partially reusable vehicle. The International Space Station, ISS program, a collaborative effort representing a major milestone in international space cooperation. NASA's rockets have been the workhorses behind these incredible feats. From the mighty Saturn V that propelled astronauts to the moon, to the Space Shuttle's reusable main engines, NASA's engineering prowess has undoubtedly played a pivotal role in space history, and they're no doubt pioneers when it comes to this sphere. On the other hand, we have SpaceX, founded by Elon Musk in 2002. It is a relatively young company, but we can't argue that they've made a huge impact on the space industry in such a short amount of time. Their focus is on making space travel more affordable and accessible. One of the ways they achieve this is by developing fully reusable rockets, which not only brings down launch costs, but also reduces reliance on expendable launch vehicles that create space debris. SpaceX rockets like the Falcon 9 and the Starship are known for their cutting-edge technology and ambitious goals of space exploration. The Falcon 9 is currently the workhorse of SpaceX's fleet, having launched numerous satellites, cargo missions, and even NASA astronauts to the International Space Station. The Starship, still under development, is a monster of a rocket designed for deep space exploration, including missions to Mars and beyond. If that's not impressive, we don't know what is. On this front, we have to hand it to both NASA and SpaceX for creating their mark in the world of space exploration. Next up, let's talk about their lifting power and capabilities. It's a numbers game. So how do these rockets compare in terms of lifting power? Here's a breakdown. When it comes to payload, the Falcon 9 can lift to orbit around 22,800 kilograms of cargo, while the Starship is still under development, but estimates suggest it could handle a staggering 100,000 kilograms or more. NASA's Space Launch System, SLS, their new mega rocket, is designed for around 46 tons, which is 46,000 kilograms, which is truly impressive, but not as impressive as SpaceX's Starship. Now let's take a look at thrust. The Falcon 9 boasts around 1.71 million pounds at liftoff, while the Starship is estimated to generate a whooping 16.7 million pounds of thrust at liftoff. The SLS comes in at around 8.8 million pounds of thrust, which is about half of that of the Starship. As you can see, SpaceX is currently leading the charge in terms of raw power with the Starship. One reason being the Starship's immense thrust comes from its use of a next-generation engine called Raptor. These engines burn a combination of liquid methane and liquid oxygen, which is a more efficient fuel propellant combination compared to the traditional liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen used by most rockets, for example, the SLS. Regardless, it is still important to note that NASA's SLS offers immense lifting capacity for future missions. Let's deep dive into reusability and the future of spaceflight. One of SpaceX's biggest game changers is reusability. There's no denying that. The Falcon 9 first stage can return to Earth and land upright on a drone ship, significantly reducing launch costs. The Starship is also designed to be fully reusable, both the booster and the upper stage. While NASA's rockets, like the SLS and the retired Space Shuttle, are generally expendable, meaning they're lost after launch. The different approaches to space travel between NASA and SpaceX can be seen and broken down to the engines powering the rockets. At the very core of the SLS is the RS-25 rocket engine. These are not just a version of the engines that launched space shuttles into orbit for 30 years, but they are in fact noted to be the very same engines. The engines that survived have been enhanced and reused. SpaceX's Raptor rocket engine, on the other hand, is an entirely new concept and design that has been made specifically to be reusable with minimum need for maintenance and refurbishment between flights. So we can say SpaceX has a significant head start in this area. When it comes to cost considerations, a single Falcon 9 launch can cost as low as $62 million, compared to billions of dollars for traditional expendable launch vehicles. SpaceX's focus on reusability plays a big role in reducing launch costs. NASA's rockets, on the other hand, particularly the SLS, have been criticized for their high development costs. However, NASA emphasizes the SLS's capability for deep space missions, like those to Mars. And now, what about the road ahead for both NASA and SpaceX rockets? Is there a collaborative future in sight? Today, NASA enables many commercial companies, including SpaceX, to carry out innovative and exciting missions, so I guess we could say there's a bit of collaboration already going on. We're calling it a win-win situation and a collaborative win-win situation to be more specific. So, who wins in the SpaceX versus NASA rockets showdown in your books? Let us know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.